We have the incredible schus today to continue, actually to finish the second chapter, Perek Beis of Mesillas Yesharim, and Amir Hashem begin Perek Gimel as well, the third chapter, all in one shiur. So the second chapter, Perek Beis, concludes as follows: Upashatu shafilu im pikeach ha'adam al atzmo in b'kocho li'natzel iluli HaKadosh Baruch Hu ezro. So remember again, the Ramchal taught us in the last shiur that the greatest strategy the Yetzer Hara employs in order to derail us from accomplishing our life mission is to make us so busy and so preoccupied with everything going on that we have no time to think, no time for zihirus, no time for contemplation, no time for awareness. And as a result, we end up making dramatic mistakes. And the Ramchal says, now, even if a person is wise and smart and thoughtful, one cannot acquire the midah of zihirus, thoughtful contemplation, on their own. Rather, one always needs the assistance of the Ribono Shel Olam. Ki Yetzer Hara takif ma'od. The Yetzer Hara is very strong. Ukima amar hakasuv tzofer rasha latzadik umevakesh lamiso Hashem lo ya'azvenu. Ach ima adam mefakeach al atzmo as HaKadosh Baruch Hu ozro v'nitzol min Yetzer Hara. So the idea is, without siyata d'shmaya, without Hashem's help, a person can't accomplish anything, even creating a state of awareness, even creating a state of zihirus. But here's the difference. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that I'm trying, if the Ribono Shel Olam sees that I'm trying to acquire this midah of zihirus, of awareness, of thoughtfulness, of thinking before I act, when I act, after I act, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that I'm trying to lead a life of awareness, then ultimately He'll help me along this path. Aval, im eino mefakeach hu al atzmo, but again, if I don't take care of myself, right? If at the end of the day I don't do my part to try to live a life of zihirus, then why should HaKadosh Baruch Hu get involved? If I don't care enough about my life to try to be zohir, to try to have this awareness, this thoughtfulness, then who else is going to care about my life? As Hillel says in Pirkei Avos, if I am not for myself, then who is for me? At the end of the Ramchal saying, what's complicated about the midah of zihirus is that even if I work on it, I can't do it alone. But at least if I put in the effort, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that I'm trying, and the Ribono Shel Olam blesses my effort with success because He partners with me. But if I don't care enough about the quality of my life, and I don't care enough about my own existence to put in the time ultimately to be zohir, to acquire this midah of zihirus, if I don't care enough about it, how could I expect the Ribono Shel Olam to care more about my life than I care about my life? We have now concluded Perek Beis of Mesillas Yesharim. Mazel Tov. We now move into Perek Gimel. The Ramchal writes as follows. So now the title of this chapter is Bebeir Chelkei Azir. So remember again, we're going to see that the way Mesillas Yesharim is set up is first Ramchal will introduce to us a particular midah, a particular character trait, behavior, hashkafa, and then in the subsequent chapters he teaches us how to acquire it. Well, I should say, first then he'll explain the different aspects or components of it, and then will teach us how to acquire it. So now, Bebeir Chelkei Azirus, there are different components to the midah of zihirus. Remember again, just once again to define our midah. Zihirus is sheyiyeh ha'adam nishar b'ma'asav u'be'inyanav. A person should be careful. A person should be thoughtful. A person should be aware about what he's doing and how he's doing it and how he's living and what direction and what course I'm taking in life. So says Ramchal, Hine harotz lefakeach al atzmo, shtayim heina hashkafas hatzrichos lo. If a person wants to really live a life of zihirus, and a person wants to be aware and attentive to what it is and how he's doing it, what he's doing in life and how he's doing it, there are two components. Ha'achos, and this is incredible, she'esponin mahu hatov ha'amiti she'yivchar bo ha'adam, v'hara ha'amiti shanos mimeno. This is incredible. The first thing Ramchal says, the first step to zihirus, is a person has to identify what is the tov ha'amiti. What is the ultimate good that I'm working towards, right? And conversely, what is the ra amiti? What's the ultimate negative, the ultimate evil that I should veer away from? In other words, what the Ramchal is saying is, if I don't have clarity as to what I'm working towards, I can't ever expect to get there. So here, I want to live a life of zihirus. I want to live a life of awareness, right? I want to live a life of contemplation. For what purpose? Ultimately, because I want to reach some ultimate life good. Great. Have you identified what the life good is? What's the tov ha'amiti? What is the true good that I'm working towards? And conversely, what's the ra'amiti, the ultimate negative, evil thing that I want to try to stay away from? Vashenis, that's step one. Step two, Vashenis alamasim asheru osa liros imhem michlal hatov or michlal ra. Step two, once I've identified the tov ha'amiti, the ultimate good, and once I've identified the ra ha'amiti, the ultimate negative or evil, then the second step is trying to figure out on an actional level, right? When I'm about to do something, will this thing ultimately lead me to the tov ha'amiti, or will it lead me chas v'shalom to the ra ha'amiti? That's step two. So first step, well, I guess what we call it is like cognition. What's tov ha'amiti? What's ra ha'amiti? And ultimately, second step is actional. Actional. When looking at the actions I'm about to do in life, does this action bring me closer to the tov ha'amiti or further from it? Closer to the ra ha'amiti or further from it? He goes on, he says, V'zeh b'shas ma'aseh v'shlo b'shas ma'aseh. We alluded to this in the last parak. This level of actional analysis really occurs at two different stages. Both at the time when a person is actually acting, and right when a person is doing, b'shas ma'aseh, a person is actually doing, and also when a person is not actually doing. What does this mean? B'shas ma'aseh, shelo yaseh shum ma'aseh mibli she'yishkol also moznei zos yediyah. And this is what Rachel says. The ultimate level we're trying to reach is that I don't do anything in life. I don't commit any action or engage in any dynamic activity without first assessing, will this action bring me closer to the tov ha'amiti or far or distance me from the tov ha'amiti? That's number one. B'shas ma'aseh. When I'm about to act, right? So literally, when I'm about to do something, I weigh the action. Tov ha'amiti, ra ha'amiti. V'shelo b'shas ma'aseh. Shiyala the fun of zichron klal masa v'yishkol osen kemo b'ma'oznei ha'mishkol hazeh liros ma'yesh b'hem mehara l'man yitcha oso u'mahi min ha'tov lahasmid bo'o le'eschazek bo v'im yimtza b'hen min ha'ra az yispone v'yachkar b'sichlo eze tachbula yaseh losra min ha'ra tov v'litar mimenu. So listen to this. Let me reframe it a little bit. Ramchal says there's two times in which we analyze our actions. There's what we'll call the pre-actional analysis and post-actional analysis. Pre-actional analysis says that before I do something, I have to ask myself, I'm about to do something. Is this action going to bring me closer to the tov ha'amiti, the ultimate good that I'm working towards in life? Or will it chas v'shalom bring me closer to the ra ha'amiti, the ultimate negative or evil that I'm trying to avoid in life? That's the pre-actional analysis. Then there's post-actional analysis. And post-actional analysis is exactly as it sounds. I've acted already. I've committed the act. Now when I look back at the act, what happened? Ultimately, again, first of all, did the action really accomplish what I thought it was going to accomplish? Did it bring me closer to the tov ha'amiti, distance me from the ra ha'amiti? What happened? That's number one. Number two, and here's what's interesting, is that sometimes even if an action is inherently good, sometimes in the course of the performance of that action, there may have been negative components. So in my post-actional analysis, even if the action itself was good, are there components ultimately of it that need to be changed going forward? So if we bring this all together, in the beginning of the third chapter, that Ramchal introduces us to this new way of thinking. So first of all, step one is to identify what's the ultimate good, the tov ha'amiti, what's the ultimate evil. I want to go ra ha'amiti. I want to move myself towards the tov ha'amiti, away from the ra ha'amiti. Number two, I weigh every single action against those two things. Will my actions bring me closer to tov ha'amiti or further away from tov ha'amiti? And now in the actional analysis, Ramchal says two levels of actional analysis. Pre-actional analysis, before I act, asking myself, will it bring me closer or further from the tov ha'amiti? And post-actional analysis, after I've done it, A, was I correct in my pre-actional analysis? And B, even if I was correct, even if the action was good, are there components of it that need to change going forward? All right, we'll stop over here for today. Mazel tov on starting Parak Gimel. Looking forward to continuing Emir Hashem tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.